Bizarre Brain Comics. Oh, hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. But this time, we're not going to do that. Not quite. I want to take a brief look at a fistful of magazines, full-sized magazines, comics in magazine form. Mostly black and white, but not entirely. And mostly Marvel, but not entirely. And what I say, these are almost all in some way related, except for the last one. They're all somewhat related to movies or TV shows. Just somewhat. And but before I do that, I want to remind you that I've got 2 books available. It's been a while since I've plugged these. Over here is Bizarre Brain Comics Anthology. And over here is Bizarre Brain Comics Presents Heroes. And those are my comic books. The anthology is mostly some humor with a little adventure, and the Heroes is more mainstream with some superheroes, some little bit of horror, science fiction stuff. It's even got a Western story in there. So $7.99 each on Amazon, or they can be found on Barnes & Noble online store. And thank you. Thank you everyone who's got theirs or will get theirs. Thank you. So we're starting off here. Come on. We're here with this Marvel Preview number 18 from 1978, featuring Star-Lord. Yeah, this is Peter Quill. He started out in one of these. I've covered him before in a from his titular title in the standard comic book format once, and this is the same character that is in the Guardians of the Galaxy, but his is considerably different from Peter Quill in the movies, and even from the Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics. Initially, he was in the future, sometime in the future, but then all of the Guardians of the Galaxy were originally in the future. They started out 1,000 years in the future. Somehow they came to the past, and all the characters changed. The movie only had one character that was originally in Guardians of the Galaxy comic, and he wasn't even one of the Guardians. So, but anyway, so this is Doug Munch wrote it with art by Bill Sienkiewicz and Bob McLeod. Science fiction-y, superhero-y, kind of a blend of the two. And this is obviously, he looks considerably different than he does in the movies, and then it has a couple of science fiction backup stories as well, because this is an anthology. This is a cool one, The Destiny of the Dinosaurs. And this is taking a look at basically with some time travel, and it turns out that the dinosaurs built spaceships and left Earth, and now they're coming back. Stuff like that. So, and then we have Howard the Duck. Of course, there was the Howard the Duck TV series. Movie. Very disappointing. Very loud. And he has made Howard the Duck has made cameos in some of the more contemporary Marvel movies, and I've covered him 2 or 3 times on this channel in a more traditional comic book format. This is issue number 1 from '79, was it? I'm not seeing it. Yeah, 79. This and this issue has. His black and white magazine didn't last that long, and that's where I really started reading him. But I think this may be the only issue I've got left from the magazines. It's all written by Bill Mantlo with various artists, including Ernie Colon, Gene Colan, and I don't remember. Mike Golden and Klaus Janson. And 3 full-sized, full-length stories. 79. Then, this is directly from a movie. This is James Bond, Octopussy from 1983. This is a Marvel Super Special, number 26. So it's got some articles, a lot of still photographs from the movie. Of course, the interpretation of the movie poster. There it is. This adaptation was written by Steve Moore and drawn by Paul Neary, and has some really nice artwork in here. And unfortunately, this is not one of the best Bond movies. And this is one where for the first time, they actually dressed him up as a clown, which is unfortunate. But some beautiful artwork. The coloring is really great. Got the look right here. Louis Jourdan. There's Roger Moore. Got the look of the actors portraying the characters spot on. Some really nice stuff, and is overall a good magazine. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if you consider the magazine better than the movie. Then we have Marvel Comics Super Special number 14 from 1979. Featuring the adaptation of the movie Meteor. And you might say, what? I don't know that movie. Well, you might not. It was a moderate hit at the time, but in later years kind of got forgotten about and was overshadowed by other movies with a similar plot, such as Deep Impact and what was the other one? The other one about the comet impact, or I can't remember the name of it. And but this one was good enough. I really enjoyed it at the time, and they even about 16 years ago had a miniseries remake of it, or rather a reimagining. It wasn't exactly a remake of this one. This is drawn by Gene Colan. Tom Palmer did the inks and painted it, so it's fully painted, all the colors. Some really nice work. Of course, it's about if you've never seen the movie, it's about a meteor coming in, actually an asteroid coming in to possibly going to destroy the Earth, and the attempts to countermand that, and plus some article about disaster movies and stuff like that. So, and that's enjoyable as well. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Torn cover. Then, I think I showed something about this not too long ago. This is the Marvel Super Special number 27. From this is what, 83 was it? Isn't that where it is? When Jedi came out. Yeah, 1983. Official comics adaptation. Of course, they had were having a Marvel had an ongoing comic title. Got with this black cover. A lot of the ink came off and left fingerprints on here on the cover. Unfortunately, Bill Sienkiewicz's cover, but it's written by Archie Goodwin, and art. Pencils anyway, by primary art by Al Williamson. They worked together an awful lot. Used to do a Secret Agent X9, whatever, is that what his name? newspaper comic strip. So this is, but it's a, and of course, I also worked, did a lot of stuff with Flash Gordon and the like, and so you can see the thing came out really well. They also worked together in a adaptation of comic adaptation of the another Star Wars based on a Star Wars novel, Splendor of the Mind's Eye. Yeah. So then here's another one. Marvel Super Special number 18, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the official comics adaptation of the film by Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. Yeah, this is who did this cover? It looks like I can't think of his name, and I know who it is. I can't think of it. Anyway, it was an interior art by John Buscema and Klaus Janson, written by Walt Simonson. Let's see if it's I can't think of his name. Ernie, no. Oh well, it doesn't matter. And of course, this is an adaptation of the first Indiana Jones movie. And I think not too long ago I showed a reprint of this in standard comic format. So we all know Raiders of the Lost Ark story. That was long before they changed the name to Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Then we have, remember the TV show, The $6 Million Man? This is from Charlton Comics. They had both a oversized black and white magazine format of the $6 Million Man, as well as a standard color comic format, and also a standard color comic of the Bionic Woman, and these are by various creators. And here's a cover painting by Neal Adams, and he did Neal Adams and his Continuity Studios did the interior artwork. There's some really nice stuff in there. Then issue number 2 with more of Neal Adams stuff, and of course these also feature articles and a lot of photographs. And another Neal Adams cover, but various artists working on it. Oh my gosh, I didn't see that. Somebody cut something out. Might have been me for all I know. But to order these books, I don't remember. But I don't remember ordering the books. Maybe I intended to and didn't do it. I don't know. Then here's issue number 3. This is Jack Sparling did the cover painting, and I think he he also did the interior art. More photos and articles on the inside. One thing about in the comics and the magazines, they were able to do stories, type of stories that just weren't feasible for television. More robots and wild ass stuff like that. And here's issue number 4, 1977. Actually, so again, this has got a Earl Norem painted cover. 3 new action adventures. And I want to plan on eventually doing an episode on the $6 Million Man, whether it's the regular comic format or from one of these magazines. I'm not sure. There's Jack Sparling interior art. That's nice stuff. And then, see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 7, I think. No, this one's 5. Another Earl Norem cover, painted cover, and more of the same. No, this is the last one. This must be issue number 7. Yeah, issue number 7. I missed a few issues, and more of the same. And I think this is also Jack Sparling. And then the comics, regular comics, they had a variety of creators. Joe Stanton did a few issues, I think it was. And then we finish up with one that has nothing to do with movies at all. This is Marvel Preview number 9 presents Man God. And this is from, what was it, from 74, was it? I believe it was. And 1976, great Earl Norem cover. I like that one. Now, interesting is this is based. This is drawn by Tony DeZuniga, written by Roy Thomas, and it is an adaptation of Philip Wiley's novel, pulp novel from the 30s, The Gladiator. And this novel was the biggest. There were other influences too, but this was the biggest influence on the creation of Superman. Because this character is basically Superman, but instead of being an alien from another planet, he is the result of a scientist experimenting on his infant son, which he turned him into a Superman. So, of course, this takes place in the early part of the 20th century and leading up to World War I, because the thing was written in the late 20s or early 30s. And some beautiful artwork. It shows experiment on a cat, and the cat has gone wild, is bulletproof, and has gone out killing the animals in the big animals in the forest and cattle and stuff. And how strong he is. The boy his name is Hugo. Growing up, he can't fly, but he can sure leap. So he's very much like Superman when he first appeared in 1938. And he grows up, goes to Europe, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I've been intending to do an episode on this magazine for quite some time. So that is what I've got to share with you just this time. These magazine comics in magazine form. So I want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments down below. What do you know about any of these, if anything? Do you like any of them? Are there any of these in particular that you might like to see more in depth on? Let me know in the comments down below. And remember, comics are art.